I want to start this episode with something I hear a lot, and that is I know what I do, but I can't seem to articulate it. Or my message feels like it keeps changing, or I overthink every single post before I even hit publish, or the one I like just kills me every time is my message sounds right, like I'm doing all the things that I've been told to do, but it's not moving people. And this might really surprise you, but this is not a clarity problem. It's not a confidence issue. And it's definitely not because you haven't found the right words. It's actually your ajna, the second center down in your chart, running your messaging, whether you know it or not. Because the ajna influences how we organize thought, right? Long before anything ever comes out of our mouth, and it can be misaligned without you even realizing it. This is why your messaging feels sticky, is because you're trying to put these thoughts together and it's not making it's not working right in your ajna, okay? This is a series all about the different centers and how the centers influence our messaging. Today we're talking about the ajna, and if we haven't met, I'm Rachael, and I teach the art and science of magnetic messaging through human design. Because most messaging problems aren't problems at all, they're misalignments. So let's get into it. I'm really excited to talk about the ajna because I have an undefined ajna, and it has been a interesting ride to learn how to work with it in a world that tells us to be certain. Certainty is what the ajna is all about. So the ajna it's not going to be about being smart. It's not about having opinions, and it's definitely not mindset work. Like, you can't mindset your way out of ajna misalignment. The ajna is about certainty, finding certainty with ideas and thoughts and how the world works, right? And when we can lock it in, that meaning, the structure becomes so much easier to understand, and our message actually formulates in our minds, and then we can bring it out into the world. The ajna is not here to be flexible for everyone. When it's aligned, your message actually feels really solid. It feels like, no, I've got this. I know exactly what I do, who it's for. So if you're confused on who it's for, what you do, how you solve a problem, it's likely a problem with your ajna, not necessarily your messaging or what you're expressing. It can be. We can have all kinds of different layers of problems, right? But the first thing you want to look at is understanding, do I even understand? Do I have certainty or not in my head? When it's misaligned, the messaging feels like it's consistently shifting, always. Like, maybe it's this person, maybe it's that person, maybe they're doing it. We're starting to look outside of ourselves for the solution to our messaging problem and why it's not working. Okay, this isn't a branding issue. This isn't a messaging issue. It's actually mechanics. Okay, it's how your energy works and how it's meant to sort through the myriad of options in the world. Okay, so let's go into the defined ajna. I'm going to do both defined and undefined because they relate to their messaging differently. The biggest thing and the biggest pattern I see with the defined ajna is they override their natural certainty to sound relatable, open-minded, or safe, and is completely destabilizing your message, making it feel like someone else's message. A defined ajna, feels the pressure to justify their perspective. Are you sure you're right? Are you sure this is what you want to do? Or how can you be so certain? Who are you? Who are you to be so certain in life, right? They over-explain how they got here and how they want to over-explain everything in their offer. Give you so much information, give you all the justifications of why your offer is amazing. And they try to prove that their thinking is solid, that the way that you think is exactly the way it should be. No one else can, you're almost like stuck in the mud in terms of, this is what I think. No one else can think differently. It has a one way of thinking and can get stuck in that one way of thinking. So instead of saying, this is how it works, and leaving it at that, you end up saying, here's why this makes sense, or let me walk you through all the different steps. I could be wrong, but, right, you justify your way of thinking instead of owning it and being like, this is it. Take it or leave it. If you want a different way of thinking, that's fine. I'm not closed-minded to other ways of thinking, but this is how I work through the problem. If that's resonating with you, if that's working for you, then come into my world, right? The message becomes heavy, not because it's unclear, but because the certainty has been diluted. You've lost the certainty of what you know and how you help people. Your ajna already knows. Your audience feels it when you stop second guessing it. Okay. So when you are certain in how you help people, who you help, and you leave it at that, like there's no justifying, but maybe somebody won't like it or any of that, when you just like, this is it. And from a neutral energetic, right? That's when your audience feels that and goes, ooh, yeah, that makes sense to me. I really want to understand it the way you understand it. Example 2, constantly refining instead of declaring. This is that confidence thing. So you show up tweaking your message endlessly, changing your bio all the time. Every single launch, it looks completely different from the one before. There's tweaking, and then there is like throwing the baby out with the bathwater and starting over completely. You're rewording posts over and over and over before you ever post it. Could you just write a single post without editing and put it out there? Or would your mind have a heyday with that? Waiting for it to feel, if it doesn't feel right, then I'm not going to post it. If it doesn't, like you're emotionally attached to that post. Instead of just saying the stuff that you want to say, putting it out there and like letting it go, not being tied to it so emotionally that, oh, that's not the right words. Can you trust yourself? Defined ajnas get stuck in refining a thought that's already complete. Like you think it's somehow not complete, so you're going to refine and refine and refine. But the refinement's not going to attract your people. Only you standing in your confidence, in your like, this is the way I think about this. That's it. No refining. Your clarity doesn't come from being polished. It comes from committing. The third example is you borrow mental frameworks that aren't yours. So that looks like industry languages, popular frameworks. It's someone saying you have to do how-tos, you have to nurture and nurture and nurture before someone buys. You have to explain it this way in order for people to buy. But all of that doesn't actually match the way that you want to express yourself, the way that you want to express your ideas. Okay. There are specific ways that your brain wants to give the information. And when we override that, that's when we feel like it's not ours. It becomes stiff and overcomplicated, and we disconnect from our body. I'm a true believer that your message needs to come from your body, not your head. Even if you have a defined ajna, it's not coming from your head. It's coming from your body and what you are here to say. Our mental mind, not the ajna per se, but the mental mind likes to come in and overcomplicate it and make you think that it needs to look a certain way. It only needs to look the way that you want it to, right? Everything is possible. The world is limitless. It's only what you truly believe is for you when you are in full alignment. Okay, now the undefined ajna has its own set of issues and ways of looking at messaging and messing itself up. And like literally, I have always said, once I really understood ChatGPT, that ChatGPT is like the defined ajna I always wanted, because I can dump my mess of thought into ChatGPT and it spits out like a beautiful uniform thought. When in my head, it's kind of all jumbled up. And sometimes I'll think it sounds good in my head, but when I try to say it, it sounds ridiculous. And you're like, what are you even talking about? That's like the undefined ajna. Like if you don't use ChatGPT, go use it, because it's going to help you define your thoughts and help you organize the chaos that's in your head. Okay, so with the undefined ajna, there are things that trip you up. And number one is needing to be certain before you speak. Undefined ajnas often think, I need to be sure before I post this. I need to know for sure that this works. I need to know for sure that I'm right. I need to know for sure whatever. No, you don't. I need to have it figured out. No, you don't. What if I change my mind later? That's okay. You can. So if you're asking those questions and you're hesitating, you're delaying, you're rewriting this endlessly in hopes that something will, like, eventually you'll feel ready. You won't ever feel ready. If you're looking for when will I feel ready, you won't. You're meant to explore ideas, sometimes out loud, not locked away in your head trying to work it out. The best way when you are trying to work something out and figure out, like, what do I want my offer to be? What do I really want to offer? It's about talking those ideas out with a trusted friend, with a mentor, with ChatGPT to really understand what is going on in your head. If you stay in your head, you are likely to fall prey to the undefined ajna never being ready. Okay. Example number 2 is that your message will shapeshift based on the feedback it gets. This one stings a little bit because I've had a couple of clients that fell into this, and it was undefined ajna 100%. But you're changing your position from one comment. So from one post, someone says something negative or questions you or questions the thought here, and suddenly you feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to change what I'm talking about. Or you get a DM from someone and then they ghost you. And then you think, am I talking to the right ideal client? Maybe I'm not attracting the right people because one person ghosted you. You turn little minuscule things into this meaning that somehow your message is wrong. It's not. It may be, it may need tweaks, maybe, maybe not. But the fact that you are giving it that meaning will override and will cloud any kind of clarity that you are seeking. Okay. You're not unsure. You're just putting so much meaning into the feedback that you're getting. Again, defined ajnas will do this thing where they attach meaning to, but we have to be neutral, right? Not give so much emotional weight to a comment, to a DM, but truly just be neutral. Here's what I learned from that. Or someone ghosted you. Okay, do I want to change my ideal client? No, I really am. I feel like I am talking to the right person. Or going and asking a mentor, someone that does understand what you do. Are you attracting the right people? Taking it as data, not as meaning. Okay. The third thing is confusing mental openness with a lack of authority. This one for me was a hard lesson. Undefined ajnas will often say, I don't want to sound like I know everything. I'm still learning. I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to be boxed in was mine. Like, I don't want to be boxed into one niche or one ideal client. I want to help everyone. I want what if I change my mind, right? Because that happens a lot. So my own authority was diluted because I wasn't truly saying, this is the line in the sand. This is who I want to help. This is what I do. Instead, I gave into the fear that maybe I wasn't meant to help everyone, or that maybe I couldn't help that person, but I can help that person. Authority doesn't come from certainty. It comes from coherence over time. So authority comes from you speaking your truth over and over and over without attaching to it. We can't fake it. I can't fake it. We have to trust that when we are speaking, that when we are talking about our work, the results that it's getting, that it is all that's needed, that there's nothing missing, that there's nothing broken. And when you do that enough times over and over and over, you will start to see that people are like, oh, I get it. That's it. I get it. How can I work with you? Right? And it builds that confidence, builds that certainty over and over and over. So here's a reframe that I want you to think about. As a defined ajna, your message is going to stabilize when you stop over explaining and you start declaring, right? You can even take this to chat and be like, chat, I want to make sure that my message is declaring my position on things, declaring my point of view. You feel how strong that is? Like, no, this is what I'm here to say. You don't need permission. Just do it. Undefined ajnas, your message sharpens when you stop chasing certainty and you're here to actually explore and not conclude anything, right? Don't stop chasing that you have a message and it's all figured out and da da da. I know it looks like I do from the outside, but a lot of times in my head, it feels like a chaotic mess. I'm not chasing the certainty that I have it all figured out. I am here in the now. The undefined ajna loves the now. Like, just right here, right now, here's what I want to say. Here's what's coming through. Here's what I know that my people need to hear today. That's it. Let it be that. It doesn't have to be more than that. It doesn't have to be this complete message all in one little package on Instagram. I think we often forget that all of our content adds up, and it's not one piece of content's job to do it all. One piece of content is never going to do it all for everyone. It's all adding up. And the more that you show up in the moment, ready to talk about whatever is on your heart, whatever is feeling called forth through you, the more that your message will land with people. So if this has been landing, if you're like, oh, this is really good, this is like showing me some edgy stuff here, good. That is my job. I've done my job of provoking you. I have Sungate 39. But if you're like, but wait, how do I put this through my messaging? How do I express this, right? Through the throat center. In this next video I just released, go check that one out. It's going to talk all about your throat center and how you are meant to express this message that's coming through your ajna and coming through your body, coming through you. And it's going to help you get unstuck and stop over explaining so you know exactly what you're supposed to be talking about or what you're like designed to talk about. Not supposed to, designed. Go check it out. And then we'll have another episode next week on the G Center. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.